Next, we actually have Erin Ahmed from Cleric. Please give a warm welcome.
Hey everyone, my name is Erin. I'm the head of product at Cleric, and today I'm going to talk through a little bit about what we've learned building a learning agent. So let's start with what is a learning agent. Well, it's the opposite of a stateless agent. A stateless agent starts a session fresh with no memory or context of past conversations. Imagine a coworker that shows up to work every day with no recollection of what happened yesterday. That's the current state of most of our agentic coworkers today. A learning agent, or a stateful agent, on the other hand, is one that learns from experience, and it adapts to improve performance. And at Cleric, we use agents for every aspect of building our own agent. And this is where we see the puck moving. Agent capabilities are commoditized. This wasn't the case at this time last year. And the next horizon of differentiation is going to be learning or self-learning. This is a conviction that we've built our product around. The agents that earn their place will be the ones that accumulate knowledge about three things: your environment, your team, and how you work, and past outcomes and corrections. So for Cleric's an AI SRE. It learns from every production incident. You connect it to your infrastructure and your observability, and it immediately starts building a model of your environment. You drop it into your alerts channel, and it learns from your past incidents and your channel history. And you use it as an investigation assistant, and it learns your preferences and your procedures over time. We've deployed it to dozens of customers at this point, and what we've learned over months and to now bordering on years of trial and error is that there are essentially three things that make a good learning agent. The first thing is good learning agents make it easy for users to correct or to teach via correction. Wrong answers are inevitable and accuracy is important, but the agents that win will be the ones that make it easy to correct mistakes and not visibly repeat those mistakes later. So for Cleric, this looks like proposing memories that persist across investigations. It looks like self-harvesting skills to encode learned procedures, and capturing user ratings on agent messages as an explicit quality signal. But the most important part is the visibly never repeating the mistakes. It's especially important for a team-based agent like Cleric, where one user session and the corrections that are learned from that apply to the next user session. And it leads into lesson 2, which is good learning agents reward corrections with better performance. You lose your user's trust when they expend the effort to teach the agent something, and that lesson is not retained. A correction should do three things. It should persist, compound, and then be visible. By persist, what I mean is the agent applies that knowledge in the same context. So, for example, if after an outage, a user were to teach Cleric how to perform a customer impact assessment, you should expect the agent to recall that procedure the next time it's asked to do the same thing. By compound, I mean applying that knowledge, generalizing that knowledge into a different context. So perhaps there's something in that procedure, like some guidance about how to distinguish between an internal instance and a production customer instance. A compounding effect would be the agent using that context in a different investigation, like automatically excluding internal instances from an error rate analysis of production customer instances, for example. And the third thing is to be visible, which is essentially just the agent needs to show its work. Display the use of knowledge and its actions and reasonings. That does two things. One, it gives the user the visibility as to when a bit of its knowledge needs to be corrected. And it also shows them the impact of their contributions, which encourages them to contribute more. But you can't rely on just the user to correct the agent, which leads us into lesson 3, which is that good learning agents absorb context continuously. Identify opportunities to put the agent in the path of real work automatically, and absorb every source of environment-specific context available so that learning happens ambiently and doesn't rely on the user calling on the agent explicitly. The richer the model of the richer the agent's model of the user's world, the higher the utility. And ultimately, this, all three lessons apply to this single learning loop. And the current state is, individuals that use stateless agents are only ever able to complete the first section. You use your agent to act, to take an action, to fix a bug, to develop a feature, or even to investigate an incident. But the missing piece here is memory. It's operational memory. That's what allows you to complete the loop. The three lessons, they all make up this loop. You can't have one lesson without the other. If you make it easy to correct, but you don't visibly improve, then you lose the user's trust. If you visibly improve, but you don't ambiently learn, then you're only ever learning from where the user directs you. It limits your learning. And if you're ambiently learning, but you don't allow the user to correct you, then you run the risk of compounding errors. I mean, think about all the dead code or the outdated documentation that's just laying in wait for the agent to stumble on. So I would say that where I think this is going is that the agents that we'll be talking about at this conference next year will be the ones that are investing in this loop today. So if you are building a learning agent or you want to learn more, you want to trade notes, come talk to me. I'd love to talk to you. Thank you. Sure.
So we do have time if anybody has a question for Erin. She's very punctual. She left herself for 30 seconds. If you have a question for Erin. If not, okay, right back here. Can I run the microphone?
Yeah, of course.
Run it back. All right. Be speedy. Be expeditious.
Do you think everything you're describing can be accomplished through context engineering, or do you think you need to do some kind of fine-tuning or adjust the weights at some point?
We're not doing any fine-tuning, so maybe that answers the question. But I think it's possible, at least today. And as Peter Steinberger says, these are the worst the models are ever going to be. So I think that they will just continue to improve over time, and this will get easier. I think also the foundation models are going to be releasing a lot of these features, and that we'll start to see, we'll start to see these features being available and not just in specialized agents. Oh, good. Okay. Thank you.